Hello my dear students. Today we are going to talk about the characteristics of a good business letter. Last time we have seen that what is business letter, what is formal letter and what is informal letter. So directly coming to the business, we can discuss that what are the characteristics of good business letter. 5 characteristics are there here for our study. They have given that it is complete, it is correct, it is clear, it is concise and it is courteous. So one by one we will see. First is complete. Complete business letter. This is the one characteristics. What is mean by complete? A business letter must be complete. The writer should begin by making clear the purpose of the communication and should make sure he conveys all the information that the receiver requires. So the purpose of the letter you should have to mention in a clear-cut way, and what the requirements are there. When you are going to say to the person who is reading the letter, you have to give all the information to ensure that all required information is included and sequenced logically in order of importance. The writer needs to plan and organize his letter carefully. So whatever the information is needed, that information is given in one by one according to the importance and in a very sequenced manner. And before the writing a letter, you have to prepare yourself that which thing is most important and which is second important. Then this is the first point. Then second, correct. A business letter should communicate accurate information. The format and layout, the tone, style and the language of the letter should also be free of errors. So what the information is there, what the communication is there, you have to give all the information correctly, accurately. And what the errors are there, you should not make any error, particularly in style and in the language, in giving the required information to the person. So error free the letter should be. All these aspects create a good impression and add to the credibility of the writer as well as the writer's organization. When you are writing a clear-cut, correct letter, correct business letter, everything is there. Information is there, what you required according to the importance, grammar is good, sequence is good, what the style is good, language you have used very much. Then it creates one impression on other organization. Impression of writer also, impression of the writer's organization also. Third, clarity. Clear. It is important to start a business letter with a clear statement of purpose. When you are writing a business letter, first you have to write what is the purpose of the letter. What is the purpose of this letter? In a very clear-cut manner, you have to mention that this is the purpose of the letter and you have to make clarity. The writer should clearly state what he wants to know, order or offer. In a very simple manner, you have to say that I want the information about this, I want to offer this, or I want to know about this particular goods. What the things are there according to the situation you have to mention. The best way of making one's meaning clear is to avoid jargon and use familiar and unambiguous words and short uncomplicated sentences. So instead of writing jargon words, instead of writing incomplete sentences, instead of writing incomprehensible sentences, it is better that whatever the purpose is there, you have to write clearly. You can also make your meaning more clear if each paragraph in your letter leads to one main idea. So while the writing letter, make paragraphs and one paragraph devoted to one important point. That is the clarity. Then concise. Concise means in short. Whatever you are asking, whatever you are requiring, whatever you want to know, that things you have to write in a very simple way and in a very short way. Because if you write a long letter to the business houses, then they have no time to read all these things. So whatever important things, I want these goods, I want to know about these goods, I want to purchase these things. So whatever things are there, you have to, don't waste time in writing extra information. What your purpose of writing is there, what is the purpose of the business letter is there, that purpose mentioned in a very clear-cut manner and in a very concise manner. And last is there, courteous. Courteous means kindness, helpfulness, good, impression you have to create, good language you have to write, good style you have to maintain, good words you have to write. Here they have given a business letter is written to evoke a certain response. People will only respond favorably to a letter if it is worded correctly, politely. Courtesy can be shown in a business letter by taking the other person's point of view and feeling into consideration, responding to problems sympathetically, and showing appreciation of efficiency. So many things are there in business line. Polite language if you use, then who is going to read your letter, he is in a mind, prepare its mind to reply you. If your language is hard, if you are not courteous, your language is not good, you are making so many errors, language errors are there, grammatical errors are there, then nobody is going to reply. And you have to create one type of politeness into the mind of that reader of the letter. Then only that reply will come. Then one thing is there here, using polite words such as thank you, please, could you please also show courtesy and make the reader more likely to respond to the request being made. So these three words are there. 5 words are there. For example, please, thank you, could you please. If you use such type of words, then one type of politeness, one type of sympathy, one type of kindness, one type of respect you can create into the person who is reading the letter. And certainly after reading it, whatever the purpose of writing the letter is there, he will reply to you. So these 5 points are there. 4 or 5 points I think you have to remember while you are writing a business letter. Following these characteristics, following these points only, you can write a very good business letter. So thank you being with me, and thank you for today's lecture.